For sim racers, it really is make or break for Assetto Corsa EVO. The game launched with an unbelievable amount of hype. Some of it may be irresponsible by the people who were hyping it up. I was always a little bit cautious, and I've been watching Assetto Corsa EVO very closely. I played the game a lot when it came out in early access. I bought my own copy and I've been using the RTX 4090 to really see what it's made of. And there is some phenomenal driving to be had in Assetto Corsa EVO. I've had some of my best ever sim racing in the game without doubt. But the roadmap was very, very, very aggressive from Assetto Corsa EVO. They said this game is going to be 1.0 in the fall and we're going to have the free roam in the summer. And I feel like Assetto Corsa EVO was kind of sold on the free roam. But since the launch, things have gone very, very, very quiet. The game is not very well optimized on virtual reality. Again, I know that I've been trying it on all sorts of equipment. It's really difficult to get running well on virtual reality. It's also not perfectly optimized for lower end graphics cards. I've been trying it on low graphics cards. It tends to use a VRAM. It doesn't run that smoothly either. And there's lots more issues that the community's been having. Where are we now? Assetto Corsa EVO are going to redesign it, looks like, the roadmap. They're going to make some adjustments. Some of the controversial things like not permitting modding and offline mode may be about to change. This is what the community want. This is what I want. Let me know in the comments if you agree with this. So firstly, I don't think it was really clear that Assetto Corsa EVO would basically be online only or need an online connection. And we had this kind of embarrassing situation at launch where they launched the game in early access, the service went down, and you couldn't access anything. So what they did is they did a quick update and they made all the content available offline. That is a temporary fix. I think it's affected how they wanted to introduce you to the game and kind of have to do driving academy stuff, get credits, go car by car by car. That's changed, but it opened Pandora's box, and players really don't want this content to be locked behind progression or some other form of monetization. They want to be able to use every car offline. This is the number one thing I would say I've seen in the comments. I always hear it. Every sim racing game I've covered deeply that tries to do online only, I'd speak for the offline only crowd because I get it. And this is the model with Assetto Corsa. It's kind of like offline first with option online. So I think we'll see what they're going to do here. I really hope they're going to listen for the good of the game. I think the whole sim racing community would be better off with a really strong Assetto Corsa EVO. So the ability to race without an internet connection and also download mods. So modding. So Assetto Corsa EVO tried to keep it under wraps a little bit, but they basically said we're not going to have mods until the game is like all ready, like later on in time. That is a massive thing because Assetto Corsa, the original Assetto Corsa, is really known for its modding. The free roam mods, the canyon mods, going down the Japanese expressways, all the different cars and tracks. It's known for modding, whether it's official or not. It's fact, that's what it's known for. So I was very suspicious when I saw a lot of press coverage of Assetto Corsa EVO glossing over the fact that there was going to be no modding. Now Assetto Corsa EVO have brought back a very important team member from the original Assetto Corsa team to the Assetto Corsa EVO team, and that could herald a change in the direction on modding. I think maybe they were a little bit too ambitious, maybe a little bit too arrogant in saying we don't need mods for Assetto Corsa EVO, we're not going to do that, we don't need these mods. I think they've realised that they probably really do need the mods, otherwise it's a very competitive sim racing landscape and much more competitive from when the original Assetto Corsa launched. So what do the community want? Open modding tools, sound, physics, visuals. We all know about the pure and soul mods from the original Assetto Corsa. People are desperate for those. You could fix a lot of the issues like in VR. VR users feel a little bit betrayed by Assetto Corsa EVO because it was announced that the game was going to come out, VR kind of compatible, and it really didn't feel like that at launch. It was very difficult to get it running. They've only really issued a couple of updates to the game. One of them was about getting better VR performance. It wasn't really that different. It didn't make that much of a difference. Even running it on the fastest graphics card in the world, as I made videos on, it's not an amazing experience. It's arguably barely playable, and that's such a shame because I've had some amazing racing in VR. If you look at the videos on this channel, when it comes together in the rain, at Imola, in the Porsche Cup, And you know, it's incredible. Basically, the sound, the design, everything comes together, but for fleeting moments and only when you got the best equipment. So what do people want? They want proper VR support, head tracking, real kind of like nice field of view, kind of like getting it just right, using different renderers, using OpenXR maybe. The move away from Unreal Engine 5 like there was, or Unreal Engine in Assetto Corsa Competizione, should make it better for VR. The other big thing, and this is where Assetto Corsa EVO was sold on, is open world. There is so much hype for this. Forza Horizon has since announced that it's coming to PlayStation, so open world racing games are arguably bigger than ever. And I'm worried that Assetto Corsa EVO are not going to be able to deliver this, because there is so much work that goes into doing an open world racing game to make the world feel believable, make it feel alive, having NPC cars, having people going around doing their business, having a really good day-night cycle. There's all these things that come into it, and I just don't know whether Kunos have the resource and also to manage the economy of it. But people want an offline, open world driving game. I think that will be enough for a lot of people. I think people understand that Kunos doesn't have the resources of Xbox, for example, or Ubisoft, or whatever Ubisoft is these days. Just an offline only, well, not offline only, but a game that you can play offline and go into free roam and drive these cars on the open road. That is the kind of essence of it, and no kind of grindy economy. People don't want that. Let's talk about performance. Loads of different kind of setups, people running on low-end graphics cards, AMD, Intel, you know, Nvidia driver issues recently. So many combinations of hardware, and Assetto Corsa EVO is not particularly well optimized at the moment for performance, which is a shame because I know it looks and drives incredible when everything's working well. There have been a lot of game crashes, a lot of massive GPU load, a lot of VRAM issues as well. Triple screen support was something that they touted as kind of it being triple screen compatible. There's been issues with that as well. Now this is where modding can help. You can have some mods that kind of like, you know, do things in a different way and take load off the system. But people basically want the performance to be a critical thing. And if Kunos had been smart here, the developer, I think they would really have concentrated on that in this time and been working flat out on that and said, look, we hear your concerns about performance. We're not going to throw a load more content in like we had in our roadmap. That some of it may have been ready to go, that they were going to release in update 2, update 3, update 4. Instead of saying we're going to improve the performance because that's kind of something that benefits everyone. Everyone is going to benefit from that. Another issue people have with the Assetto Corsa EVO is the career mode is kind of like not very good. The driving academy is not very good. I'm sorry. I really want to love Assetto Corsa EVO, and I'll be so happy if I'm making loads of Assetto Corsa EVO content again. I really want to be doing that, and I want the game to be great. I'm just going to be honest with you. The driving academy from a gaming perspective is so poor. You don't see the track map before. You don't see your time afterwards. You don't know what you have to beat. It's really unclear. It's not satisfying. There's literally nothing to it other than the start and end point. There's no ghost car. You can't view a replay. It's like there's so many things missing when you just look at Gran Turismo as the gold standard. And there is no semblance really of a career mode. It does feel quite empty. The way you look at your cars in the garage, the little square they have, it just kind of feels empty. There's not a lot of ambient noise. There's no social aspect because there's no multiplayer. So I think the career mode is something that we were all hoping for. But, you know, again, with the way they're going to have to do offline only, it might be more difficult to do now. What people want is they want that single player path. They want more GT3 cars as well added to the game. Now, a big shout here is Assetto Corsa EVO could make the whole thing free to play. They could really change the monetization model. They could be delaying the update. Are we really going to get free roam in the summer like they said? Remember, they promised this whole Nürburgring area. Is that going to be delayed? Everything is up for grabs. Assetto Corsa EVO, the development team, they do watch these videos. So let me know in the comments what you want to see. They will see that, and then maybe we'll get Assetto Corsa EVO to being the best sim racing game in the world, which it definitely could be. Make sure to subscribe for more.